So what are these hurdles facing organisations who see innovation as important but find it difficult to sustain their attention on it? Another example from my own experience was where we introduced what we thought was going to lead to some good outcomes in respect of supplier innovation. At one of our regular supplier conferences, we announced that we would be launching a supplier suggestion scheme, offering key suppliers the opportunity to bring forward their best ideas on a gain-sharing basis. Although received at the conference with mild approval, I was soon accosted by several chief executives who informed me that my company was, at the time, a veritable black hole for new ideas. There had been multiple submissions of sometimes quite radical ideas to improve cost, of course, but also improve the manufacturability of the product specification. They'd gone nowhere. What we found was that there was no process or resources allocated to managing a pipeline of new supplier ideas at all. Suppliers were, from time to time, asked by procurement to submit those ideas, and yet there was no one available to evaluate, much less approve any changes. Designers in the company considered the suppliers a nuisance. Evidently, the company was lacking what's known as absorptive capacity, essentially the ability to recognize the potential value of new ideas from suppliers, evaluate that value, assimilate those ideas, and apply them in the creation of more competitive products. Receptivity is key, and Rolls Royce at the time, and no doubt many others, simply didn't have it. The company claimed, at least in part, to be a learning organisation with an incredibly strong record of technical and commercial innovation, but there was a degree of corporate arrogance in that unsolicited submissions from suppliers were not considered a priority at all. What was happening was that cost accounting and engineering design were butting up against each other in that every design hour had to be allocated to a specific project account code, and the system had no inbuilt capacity to focus on random off-project ideas from suppliers. So, although there are the obvious benefits of innovation, there are also costs. The allocation of human resources, seed funding of promising technology, who was going to provide the funds, complex evaluation processes, and the potential moral hazard of securing technology from a single supplier source that enables the supplier to later command higher prices by virtue of the buying organisation becoming dependent. It is said that this lack of absorptive capacity can risk causing organisational atrophy, a failure to mobilise the workforces of customer and supplier in seeking improvement and leading ultimately to a loss of competitiveness. So if there is one thing I can recommend, it is to invest in innovation capture, ensuring that there is the necessary and sufficient internal capacity to take advantage of new ideas from both inside and outside the organisation. In the next video, I'll talk about leadership for a supplier-enabled innovation from the C-suite and the CPO's office.